Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my stream. Hello, my name is Sal. And tonight we're playing Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. And there's, of course, more than seven mysteries in Honjo. Um, but, uh, we're focused on seven of them. Plus some friends. Um, yeah. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Let's get into playing the game, even though the menu music is so cool. Okay. Where was that? We can go up here, or we can go down here. I think I want to go down here. I want to see um, what Yako and friends are up to. They won on their own, right? Yeah. Okay. I guess we're going here. Because we left off with them last time. Them and the detectives. The police detectives. Not Richter and the private detective. Was that a bird? Did I see a bird? I need to scroll. Let me get to the bird. Oh, wait, what was his voice? Aryushi's voice was, normally you'd be breaking school rules just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police. Remember that. We know it'll be okay. I forgot they can't go to cafes. How bizarre. So, what did you want to ask me? Stuff. Wait. Oh, okay. We can zoom out and then get the bird. I saw it. Oh, there's a couple birds, really. There's three of them. Okay. Let's look inside. Is there an outside to look at? A cafe. I've never been to one before. How exciting. Sorry. What? What is up with cafes? Did they not have them in Japan? Maybe they didn't have them. No, well, I guess it's not very traditional Japanese, is it? They had to have gotten them at some point, but probably not that late after they existed. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's pretty smelly inside because of the cigarette smoke, but well, it's just because of the 80s. Korokio Cafe. A coffee shop in South Waragasui Street. Korokio, Korokikyo, my bad, forgot a whole K sound in there. The word doesn't have enough. Kurokikyo's cafe's convenient location has made it a favorite of businessmen in the neighborhood. Although formerly a relaxing location where classical and jazz music were played, the cafe has begun incorporating some pop songs into its playlist at the request of customers. The most popular menu item is a pilaf served with black coffee, although cream soda topped with a large scoop of ice cream is also a popular choice. Again, it's a cafe. One of their popular items is cream soda with ice cream, and these girls aren't allowed to go here. And Yako's never been to one before. Like, where'd she get her cream soda with ice cream? They're gonna explain why teen girls can't go. Please explain. Fashionable cafes featuring jazz and live performances were in vogue until the mid-Showa era, when the number of cafes offering a carefully brewed cup of coffee and a relaxed atmosphere began to increase. Many of these they were in vogue until the mid-Showa era when they began to relax. Wait. They were in vogue until they began to increase. Oh, are they not cool anymore? Because, like, they were hipster places, but now everyone's got to open up a cafe, and so they're not cool? Is that it? I'm really confused. Many of these locations also have public telephones, making them convenient meeting places. However, they also developed a reputation as hangout spots for delinquents, leading to a large number of schools to forbid their students from patronizing them. Okay, thank you. Because the delinquents hang out at the cafes. So you can't go to cafes. I mean, I guess. I mean, if that's history, I suppose. I sure. In recent years, table arcade games have become a big hit, affording cafes installing them a steady stream of customers. Yeah, but not teen girls because delinquents. Okay. Nothing else, just all inside. Oof, gets blurry when I'm around you, buddy. Oh, okay. Can we look at him? I want to look at him. We can't. And we can't even think. This is a weird episode. We're very... What a... What a strange... The format of this conversation is different than all of our previous conversations. Yako, if you would. Right. We wanted to ask you about this. Oh my, a curse stone. An Okame mask. That must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night? Damn, there of all places. Yako, you're one of them? You are a curse bearer? Please calm down, Mr. Ariishi. Your reaction is too intense. It's kind of scaring me. Sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone? What would be the best way to approach this? We're not intimidating. We're not intimidating. I'm sorry. We'll flatter him, which is kind of creepy, but we're not intimidating. He's not gonna be intimidated. And I'm pretty sure knowing him, flattery will probably get us farther than intimidation. It's just, a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well-versed in this matter. You're the only one we can count on, Mr. Ariishi. Won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Thank you. Let's see. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and the Seven Mysteries curse stones happening now? Oh, taken an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? You sound like a researcher starting your questions with your subject's origins. Mr. Ariishi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then, do you know the ancient Onmyoto ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? Something from the occult? Miss Kurasuzu, you look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. Is it? Like, you literally study all of this stuff. What are you talking about? In that case, why do you think the rite and curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it you want to know? Well, he may not tell us anything if we say that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. He could hear you. He's right there. Mio. Right. Guess we make something up. Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity and, think it could really help your research. I see. Now that you mention it. Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about... ask about his research. Then, what does that record of fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see. That's what you want to know. Allow me to first elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. Ooh, cool scene. The Record of Fates was written 200 years ago, in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known onmyoji called Simon Tsuchimakado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this. Simon Tsuchimakado? I've never heard of him. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed Onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates. Huh. As brilliant as Seaman Simon, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. The Record of Fates are the writings Simon recorded on the road to Edo. I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself? The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Abe no Saime's specialty, the Taizan Fukan ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. Oh wow, I never knew something like that existed. Thus, it is thought that the only ones who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place, so the Rite of Resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then, when the soul dregs are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever is performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fates end there. There's no more? What about the Seven Mysteries, or the Curse Stones? There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The Curse Stones are separate from the Rite of Resurrection. Their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. Huh. That's similar to what Mio said, actually. Okay, wait, we need to review. Onmyoji. We have talked about Onmyojis already, so interesting that they decided to tell us about them now. An officially appointed government position with the Bureau of Onmyo in Japan. Onmyoji were tasked with performing divinations and rituals. They would employ the Chinese philosophies of yin and yang and wuxing, the five elements, to compose astronomical charts and almanacs. High-ranking practitioners used a variety of mystical arts, including ones that brought natural disasters and curses. Onmyoji were also tasked with exorcising demons through the usage of shikigami. Onmyoji thrived during the Heian period, in part due to the work of the famous Onmyoji and later founder of the Tsuchimakado clan, Abe no Saime. However, Onmyoji began to gradually decline in number after samurai gained control of Japan. At the same time, many of their miraculous arts were lost with the development of civilization. Although the services of Onmyoji were typically reserved for the upper class, there were a number of shomonji, or hidden Onmyoji, who worked for the common folk. Oh, hey, Shai, thanks for stopping in. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Yep, stream going well so far. Yeah. Thank you for saying hi. We got one of our birds. Wait, when did we get... Oh, okay, this is just the big... I was like, is this a special one? No. We got this bird right here. Doesn't even say anything about them. No. Okay. Oh, it does actually tell you where they are. Interesting. That's if I cared. Okay. And we read about Onmyoji. As indicated by its name, this manuscript holds detailed instructions on how to perform the secret art of reviving the dead. This forbidden ritual is said to have been devised by a once famous Onmyoji. Local researcher Hideki Araishi recently discovered the old manuscript and gave a presentation on it at an academic conference, sending ripples through the field of occult studies. According to the Record of Fates, this mysterious ritual was devised by the gifted Onmyoji Abe no Seme. It converts the souls of the dead bound for the underworld with soul dregs collected as sacrifices through the Taizan Fukun ritual. The secret art of converting souls to soul dregs is out of reach to all but the most skilled practitioners. Okay, so we need to kind of review here what we learned. So the Rite of Resurrection is a ritual that doesn't really have anything to do with the curse stones. Basically, you just need soul dregs. You're good, just in bed. Well, that sounds nice and comfy. Yep, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let's see. So, yeah, so the Rite of Resurrection, Onmyoji, presumably they could do all the rituals and stuff. Converts a soul dregs when bound for the underworld. Converts the souls of the dead bound for the underworld with soul dregs collected as sacrifices. Converts the souls of the dead with soul dregs collected as sacrifices. Oh, okay. So it swaps them out. So a soul of the dead bound for the underworlds. And you can resurrect that soul if you swap it with soul dregs. I guess. Secret art of converting souls to soul dregs is out of the reach to all but the most skilled practitioners. Okay. I think that's what that is. And then Taizan Fukun ritual is basically the rite of resurrection, I guess. Sort of. And only like Amioji might have like the most skilled Amioji can get soul dregs. But for everyone else, that's what the curse stones are for, I think. Because they like can get you soul dregs, basically. So kind of two unrelated things. This just needs soul dregs, and the curse stones are just so happen to be what can get you soul dregs. Presumably you can use them for all sorts of rituals, perhaps. Alright, hold on, I'll take a drink here while we ask him about this all-important question. Okay. How are the 7 mysteries related to the rite? Excuse me, Mr. Arishi? What is it, Miss Kurozuzu? You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the rite of resurrection and origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo are related somehow. What proof did you have of that? You really know your stuff. But about that. That was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There is a basis for it. And that is? Well, I suppose there's no harm telling a couple students so passionate about this topic. Thank you. This is something I discovered from referencing numerous texts unrelated to the record fates. It was just after Simon arrived in Honjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Honjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead? I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. That is the only remaining reference. 9 dead? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's how many mysteries there are. The fact that there's 7, ignore that. 9. That's what they mean by 7. Okay. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual. I call this tragedy the Honjo incident, and it has long been a subject of my research, and I suspect that this Honjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. Wait, so the first time it happened, that's what all the mysteries are about? Like, all of the actual original incidents were the last time the rite of resurrection happened? Interesting. So, they clearly didn't use curse stones. This would have been an actual Amioji who can do soul dregs without the curse stones? We'll see what Arishi has to say. So, what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the root of the Honjo incident is Simon's rite of resurrection? Yes, that is how the Record of Fates ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first Simon brought the rite of resurrection to Edo. We can assume that, by this point, Simon was likely using a different name. Then in Honjo, 9 people fought to the death over this rite, the Honjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. Eventually, it was passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. That's more or less the course of events. Okay, let's read again. The Honjo incident. During the Edo period, a chain of events that occurred around a certain resurrection spell became the basis for the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. Interesting. So that's how they're connected. Then if I'm getting this right, The 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. And there's more. With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become even more confident in my theory. You are? Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories? Yako, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted in your mind. Oh, I did! It's like some random thing. Like, do you remember that traumatic memory you experienced of death and hatred and anger and suffering? Do you remember that? She's like, oh yeah! Completely slipped my mind. Like, it's like such a big, strong thing. Like, how could... Oh, Yako. Exactly. Those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Honjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involve dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. The 9 victims became the 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident. Huh. That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's possession, Yoko. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get. Okay, so... It would make sense because, like, a lot of murders and stuff happen, right? And they don't all turn into curse echoes. So... What... So it makes sense that the deaths that did become curse echoes, they were killed in a special way, right? So it wasn't like a normal murder. It was someone taking their soul dregs, right? That makes sense, right? Yeah, really thinking it through. So someone was just going around basically performing the rite, but without the curse stones. They were just getting the soul dregs their own way, and the people they got the soul dregs from turned into curse echoes. I wonder if the people killed, like people like Shogo and stuff, who were killed with the curse stones, I wonder if they become curse echoes themselves. Okay, Mr. Arishi, I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's procession. Excellent. So basically, it's about a woman who died falling from a Yagora tower at a festival. Interesting. It's not that one then. Not that one? What do you mean? Among the 9 victims at the Honjo incident, that is to say, the 9 curse echoes. One of them is Simon himself, or so I suspect. Huh? Simon was one of the victims at the Honjo incident too? Meaning an Onmyoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo? Right. It would make sense if the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. The power of a curse stone is different based on the curse echo? Mio. Then someone with Simon's curse echo, we could... Maybe with Simon's, we could... Yes, we might be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing, sorry. So Simon was not the Onmyoji performing the ritual? Is that it? Was or did he just die? Did he sacrifice himself as part of the ritual? That's we gotta hear Arishi out. Maybe he'll explain further, or maybe we'll find out. Maybe he doesn't even know what happened. We'll see. Mr. Arishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I have learned a number of them. The Evergreen Beach, the Foot-Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's Procession makes 4. Of those, the most important are the Foot-Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What are they about? First, the Foot-Washing Mansion. An Onmyoji appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Simon, I'm afraid. A female Onmyoji who sought the rite of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, which she always had taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Simon. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. That detective did well to escape this one. So a female Onmyoji and rival of Simon was involved in the Honjo incident. That certainly is interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. Wait, I need to look up. Foot-Washing Mansion. The scariest of the stories, of course. Fierce battle. The woman dragged herself through the streets with something not aware. All of a sudden, her legs wouldn't move. Her foot grown rotten. Was to filthy come help. She expired. Mumbling something so ended the life of a woman consumed by evil. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I was a little confused. Okay, this is the one where you shout wash in it. Oh, you know, that is pretty easy to fulfill. If you don't turn the voices off in the game, I guess. But in real life, that'd be really easy, so I get it. Yeah. Okay. So we just weren't really fully told that part of the story about, like, the battle and stuff, but now we're filling in the gaps. Okay, wait, now he's talking about the Evergreen Beach. Let's review the Evergreen Beach. False statements. Seems sorry, tricked. The man who tricked people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging at his mansion in the morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, is known for his kind temperament and crafting Netsuki class. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who need prosperity, blah blah blah. That must have been him and 3. The old craftsman found in a miserable state. He hung there for days. Flesh mark, blah blah blah. Beaches, trees, up all night of the man's body hanging from it. As the mansion's owner was not at home, another unfortunate people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment. The rumors. Okay. Perhaps he ended his own life. Okay. This sounds like this might be Simon. Like he deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. So apparently he was tricking, because I mean it sounds like Simon, right? And so maybe he, and like if he's the one trying to perform the rite of resurrection anyway, maybe he got confused with the 7, because a lot of us are confused when you hear 7 curses. Maybe they also were like, you need 7 people's worth of soul dregs. And it's like, by 7, we mean more than 7. We mean 9. And he didn't know. And then was sad. Maybe he had to sacrifice. I don't know. But this sounds like Simon, though. Definitely. The curse echo is from a craftsman of Natsuki carvings named Jinkichi, who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The rite of resurrection. Precisely. This man, Jinkichi, must have been in contact with Simon. If I could just collect all of the memories. It's true, because because Jinkichi, I mean, we do get his name, and that is like historical. That's not like legend. That part's actual history. And he's not an Onmyoji. Like, we know about him. So I can see if that wasn't the actual fact, but it is the actual fact. So it's not Simon, I guess, to be fair. But that it does sound so let's see. Which one would it be? I want to try and take my guesses. It's not the Whispering Canal, because that's a woman. Fool's Procession. We know that's a woman too. The Beckoning Light, we don't know anything about. Vengeful Spirit, luring the lost to the land of the dead. Ooh, this sounds kind of like this. Monster leading people astray. You know what? Maybe the Beckoning Light. The Clappers. We know all about the Clappers. My home is burned to the ground. Call for help. Cannot be sorry of fire. Clappers. There's no one coming over death. Record of Vixen, who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord, that which those hauntingly cold eyes had my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? Wait, this might be Simon. Because didn't the Onmyoji worked for a lord, right? And how many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be Karma. Okay, so this could be it. This could be it. Because he would have been, like, luring people in, right? Killing people. I don't know. What led to speculation, gossip. Right, this is like, there was once a daimyo from Koto residence. This one, like, literally has no, like, story to it. It's just like, hey, there's a tower. The one-sided read. Oh, man, we talked about it. Oh, I guess that's right, because, Fukujima has it, doesn't he? So we talked about it a lot, but we don't know what it is. So we don't know what the actual history is. This doesn't seem like it has anything to do with this ever-burning lantern. Which... This is just a soba cart, right? Yeah, okay. Wait, no, well, they communicate to each other in code, turn light bells. When man attacked a woman and regretted deeply, so we cannot accept it. Seeing the light once over open, flicker out. I want to combine, because, like, he's, like, kind of related to saying they communicate in code. The spies of the shogunate lived among the townspeople to keep an eye on things. The soba cart on South Waragasui served as one of their outposts. They would communicate to each other. Night 4 a.m. and someone would be having the last soba of their life. Okay. So they would flicker the lantern in code to say, tonight at 4 a.m., and that meant that this person's a target. Occurred in which a man attacked a woman in a bout of fury. He regretted it deeply, even declining to invoke the right to defend his honor, but the deed was done. Still, he could not accept it. His rage at being used by his daimyo boiled over, turning into a grudge he would never forget. Nearby, he saw a lantern quietly glowing in the night, and when the 6th bell rang, the man cut. Okay. When it opened, since it would flicker out suddenly when there's no wind blowing. Since then, okay. Convinced it was the man. Okay, so he had attacked this woman. Like, I'm really not getting enough of the story. You know, like, who is this woman? Why did he attack her? Unless it's... But this isn't... It just says a man. Is it this? Maybe it's the same as the guy in the not the Evergreen Beach, the foot washing mansion, right? Because this we think was Simon who fought her, and perhaps this is that guy, right? And he saw the light of the soba cart. I always, for some reason, interpreted this as one of the soba cart sellers. But being used by daimyo boiled over. Trapped in the darkness of the curse. This embalmment. I don't know. Is it one we already have? Or is it one we don't know about? Like, is it like, oh my gosh, that person was Simon all along? Or is it Simon someone completely new? You know, like, how many... are they gonna eventually tell us all these stories? You see, or are they just gonna, like, only focus on a few? I mean, they're probably gonna tell us all of them by the end, maybe? I think so. Simon might be a brand new one. But, Taiko is one... Taiko is one that's completely a mystery. Like, it has no real story to it at all. One-sided read, what was that again? Wait, no. This one... This one also sounds like... There's, like, always a guy and a woman fighting in all of these. Are we sure these are different deaths? or are these just, like, I'm kind of confused. Because this one, a guy fought a girl. And in the Ever-Burning Lantern, a guy fought a girl. And in the Foot Washing Mansion, we weren't told that it was a guy fighting a girl, but Araishi said that that's the case, that this was Simon fighting this woman. So... it really doesn't say. I was like, oh, well, she's so beautiful. So maybe that's why the one-sided read person fell in love with her? But okay, but this one has a name. This one has a name, so he's someone different. The Ever-Burning Lantern guy is unnamed, so it could still be Simon. The Evergreen Beach is someone who had... is also named, so it's not Simon. And... he, though, was luring people in. So he sounds like... but we know his job, and he's not the person who runs a soba cart. But maybe he did that in his spare time. I don't know. Man, I don't know. I feel like they should link together better. We need to hear more. We'll hear more. Okay. If I could just collect all of the memories. I know! I feel the same, Araishi. I feel the same. I get it now. I get it. I also want to figure out what happened. Everything will be revealed, and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. That is the knowledge I desire. Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives, but they might not even find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own. What's the trigger for the curse to occur? Another thing. Yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really? You're not hiding something from us, are you? It has something to do with how you obtained the Record of Fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today, they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Najima murders from 20 years ago. Or Fukujima, sorry, Najima, right. Fukami was his name again? I was like, I probably got his name wrong. Najima, Fumi, okay, right. I combined the name. Fumichika Najima, right. That's what it is. I was like, okay. What? Something so terrible will happen? I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Ariishi, please, tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the Record of Fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating a night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said, I entrust you with this ancient manuscript and the rite of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month? She specified the time period? I was told that if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. It must have had you spread rumors in order to strengthen the power of the curse, to tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this. Hence I went public with the Record of Fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boon for me. It must have been online publications, because print publications would not be out in a month, even in the 80s. Huh? Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps? Right, I mean, no, that's not important. Just some personal business. After that, I waited, trying to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Those are all the details I have. Very well, I've told you this much. I may as well give you one more thing. Thank you. What might that be? About Simon's Record of Fates. There's a sort of continuation of it. Another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll. A continuation? Actually, a section written in Simon's own hand was appended to the manuscript, according to which, after the Honjo incident, Simon lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. Addendum for the event. Probably wrote in the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. Wait. Well, but he wrote the addendum, so after the Honjo incident. So not all 9. If he is one of the 9 curse echoes, not all 9 curse echoes are from deaths related to the Honjo incident. Because that would mean they all died in the Honjo incident, and Simon didn't die in the Honjo incident because he wrote the addendum to the Record of Fates. Ariishi, explain. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul drags. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information inaccurate? If Simon died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Thank you, Yako. Wow, that is not that you're stupid, but usually you don't come out with like the like, you usually like. I mean, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like when people point things out to you, like usually Mio is like, oh, well, we need to do this or we need to do this, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. This is surprisingly astute for you to recognize. You really don't get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Simon possessed? I'm not sure I get what you're saying. Of course not. He could use the right of Oh, you're telling me Simon used it on himself? Wait, then why did he bother? Why did he bother if he wasn't even dead yet? He wasn't even dead. Why would you put together a resurrection ritual for yourself unless you know you're going to die? Huh. Unless he was studying it. Maybe he killed himself just to see if it works? I don't know. That feels a little extreme. He could have killed someone else to see if it works. He must have known he was going to die, right? You're telling me someone used it on himself? The rite of resurrection can be carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Oh. Interesting. So did... Wait. Oh, what? Wait. Okay, yeah. So, well, okay. But it doesn't really explain why. Then, is it not possible that Simon himself was resurrected by the rite after it took place? But he'd still have to collect the soul dregs needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died. The 8 others besides Simon. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul drags? Duh. Okay, Yako, catch up. That sounds like it's the same thing. That sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. That's why I needed the resentful memories, to learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone. Only this information was left. Supposedly Simon's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. It seems that over their long history, the 2 documents became separated and the scroll's location lost, as the family line branched. Simon had descendants? So there's someone out there related to him by blood even now? Mio, are you sure it's not you? Because you're kind of freaky like that. Yes, in fact, I've tried to trace the line as far as I could. He wasn't a well-known Onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. It seems likely that the use of the manuscript has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, if the Record of Fates Yin Scroll, Simon himself wrote about ways to handle the curse in the right, yes? Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but I haven't found a single lead. So if you 2 find out anything about the resentful memories or Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. Okay, I need a drink before I read this. Okay. Okay, we have a few things. We need to read more about the Record of Fates. An old manuscript from the Edo period written by the sorcerer who recovered the rite of resurrection. It is viewed as a priceless and authentic document due to its detailed account on how to perform the ritual. Hideki Araichi claimed he found it in the storeroom of an old private residence, but it was in fact entrusted to him by the mysterious voice. The manuscript was written by Simon Tsuchimakado, an onmyoji from the Edo period. He was an extraordinarily adept practitioner, but after being banished from his family for researching forbidden arts, he changed his name and moved to Edo. Oh, so he doesn't even have the same name anymore. Okay. Interesting. I was like, we have not met anyone with that name. But I get it. Who changed their name? It feels like, what about that first girl that we saw at the very beginning? Shogo's friend. What about her? We haven't encountered her again in a long time. And she knew what was up. I don't know. She's suspicious. It is said that, and did we... What timeline are we in? Did we save her? Huh. It is said that Simon Tsuchimakado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul drags for the rite of resurrection. The descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident. Interesting. The existence of the Yin Scroll was indicated in a postscript added to the Record of Fates, but its whereabouts are currently unknown and is believed to have been inherited by a descendant of Simon. Okay, I'm trying to think of all the other little bits and pieces. This is interesting. Yes, I understand. Okay, now this game is picking up. This chapter was good. This little episode was good. Gave us a lot of information. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Please don't do that, sir. Okay. Interesting. A lot to ponder here. A lot to think about. Now we're in the street. I didn't know that word. We've learned a lot. So, to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other for the rite of resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll may have info we want, since it details how to stop the rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yin Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle this situation. But even Mr. Arishi didn't have any leads on where it is. How do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now might have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curses is involved too. Right. Let's talk about the mastermind. Whoever's behind that voice that gave Mr. Arishi the Record of Fates, that must be the mastermind, don't you think? Yeah, and he said it sounded like it belonged to a woman. Whoever it is, I bet they're scary. Huh? You don't sound like the Yako I know. Then let's catch him and make him spill the beans. I thought you'd say something like that. Really? I guess I'm just not really feeling that confident right now. I understand. I don't know if it's related to that woman behind the voice, but I'm also interested in the female onmyoji who is the rival of Simon. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's all about the nearby area. So while we're here... Oh, that reminds me, Mio. You know what's nearby here, don't you? Oh, you mean where Michio... Yeah, where it happened. I was going there every day to leave flowers, even though they always get cleared away anyways. I'm sure it must be hard to have to be reminded of Michio's death all the time. Oh, that reminds me, Yako? Yeah? When you asked me to do the spirit board 2 days ago, did you come here that day too? Yeah, I left some flowers before going to school. Why? Did anything seem different that day? What's this all of a sudden? Though, now that you mention it, that day, I suddenly felt lightheaded and ended up passing out for a bit. But I came to right away and felt fine, so I didn't think anything of it. Really? Yako, does that happen to you all the time or something? I see.
That's all I was wondering about. Thanks.
Hmm? Mia, what are you telling us? Okay, about what to do next. So, Mia, what are we going to do next?
Good question. It may be best to give the information we just learned to Inspector Tsutsumi. We got a pretty big clue from hearing about the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Mr. Tsutsumi might know more about it.
Should we go back to the school then?
Yeah, that's our point of contact after all.
Excuse me, you girls over there. Oh no, not this. Whoa. I forget his voice. I think it was nerdy or something. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention.
Who might you be?
I'm Yutaro Namagaki. I should probably tell you. Until yesterday, I was a curse bearer. That should clear things up.
A curse bearer?
Oh, you don't need to be scared. I've already given up the curse stone of the Foot-Washing Mansion.
The Foot-Washing Mansion? So you're the one Inspector Tsutsumi was talking about.
You already know Inspector Tsutsumi. That makes this simple. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, hey! You're in the driver's seat.
Yako?
What? It was... yes, wait, what? Just now, was I doing something? It's him. Interesting.
Sorry, Mr. Namagaki. What might be the matter?
Right. I actually wanted to discuss something with you two. Would you come with me if you have a little time?
Discuss something? With us?
You were talking about Michio Shiraishi, right? It's related to that.
Huh?
I'm sure you would learn a few things yourselves. If not now, later is fine. I'll be waiting around Ryogoku Bridge.
Something rubs me the wrong way about this, but he mentioned Michio. What should we do?
Couple things here. One, why is he hanging around Ryogoku Bridge? That's so sketchy. Like, why? Why's he gotta do that? Unless he's hanging out trying to find more people, more curse bearers. But even then, like, he doesn't even have his curse anymore. Anyway, so what Yako was saying, there was something about a car accident, but I remember that. But wasn't there? And then I forget. It was, she briefly mentioned it in a previous little episode. But there was that other spirit, wasn't there? Who was talking to them through the board. Because it wasn't Michio, but there was someone else. Something about the driver's seat. But there was also a driver. Oh no, is it Michio's? No. Wasn't there someone something like they drove past Michio or something? I forget what that was. Because I didn't have... No! No. Wait. What's her face? Hold on. Okay, so her son... is kidnapped. Wasn't there something... Michio saw the kidnappers. So he kidnapped the son. Phenomena of mental society. Ugh. Man, I want to review some of the stuff, but I don't. Okay. And Michio Didn't Michio see that because that's... Didn't Haraway say something about that? And then... Man, if you were playing this through, like, back to back, this would make a lot more sense. But I'm, like, remembering stuff from, like, 2 months ago. Okay. So... Yeah, okay. I think I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it. I kind of want to talk... We should probably go back and talk to Tsutsumi again. But he's busy with Richter and Haraway anyway. So I think we should talk to Yutaro. Well, I suppose we may as well hear what you have to say. I'm glad to hear it. Then shall we relocate elsewhere? You should just come to school with us, buddy. Why are we going to a third location? Going to your stupid bridge. Does he live here? Starting to suspect. So, what did you want to discuss with us? Let's see, how do I put this? I'll tell you straight. I want you two to use your curse stones to bring Michio Shirishi back from the dead. What? Yeah, that was the plan, but... That's why I was pursuing the rite of resurrection in the first place. What? What? Unfortunately, I had to give her my curse stone before I could succeed. But you two are curse bearers with some kind of connection to her. Which means this is the perfect opportunity for you to ask me for this. Well... I'm sorry, this is all so sudden. I still don't understand why you would want this. What exactly is your relationship with Michio? Well, we met briefly once. I was so sad to hear the news of her death the other day. Right. While it would be great if we could bring Michio back, but we've already decided not to use the rite of resurrection. Is that so? It seems, however, that we share a goal. I wouldn't mind collecting the soul drags for you if you gave me your curse stone, you know. We'll have to decline that as well. Our goal is to stop this curse. I see. Well, that's too bad. I suppose I'll have to give up on the curse stones. Thank you for understanding. Yako? Where'd you go? I thought he was a little suspicious, but he left without making a fuss. So did Yako. Why does he want to bring Michio back? Huh? Yako? Uh-oh. Did she go off somewhere while we were talking? It's not good. She wants to talk to Yutaro in private. Ah, this bridge. Where all the dead bodies are. This isn't the same bridge, right? It was a different bridge, I thought. Or are we just above it before instead of under it? Maybe it's probably the same one, and I just was thrown off by the different perspectives. Heh, I finally caught up to you. I don't know if you noticed me following you or not, but leading me to a secluded place, you've got guts. She does. It's true. I'm sorry, but I'll be taking your curse stone. Either you hand it over, or I'll have to take it by force. What is he doing? What? Michio! What? Are you... No, she's here again. I don't understand. Wait. It was just an accident. I swear, I didn't mean to. Oh, right, because there was they said it could be a car collision that did the same thing. And Yako, now I remember. Something but Michio's eyes told me the truth. Right, they said it's not a fall, but a car crash can do the same thing. And Yako had some sort of vision, I think last time at the school when we were talking to the detectives. And it's from Michio probably kind of communicating with, I think. So Michio's spirit has been hanging around Yako this whole time. I guess. Was it Michio we were talking with the spirit board? Or, because that said it wasn't Michio, and it was the spirit of the board or something. Which maybe each board has its own spirit, like a little phone operator or something. I don't know. Okay, anyway. I swear, I didn't mean to. Did that. That's why I was trying to bring you back. What? You're already too late. What? Okay, we're gonna take a drink while we look at these credits. So what happened? What? What? Okay. After this, Fumachika Najima went on to use the power of his curse to commit mass murder, shocking the public with an unprecedented tragedy. So what went wrong? And from that day on, Yako Sakazaki was never heard from again. Ending 1, Michio's Grudge. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna talk to the detectives next. Or, we'll go to this one. Well, I guess it's technically talking to them, because it's not their route. We'll go to Haraway and Richter to talk to detectives. Because this happens before they go back to the school. Presumably, because the other route, I think, where it branches here is if Yako and Mio go, instead of talking to Yutaro, they go to the school. Where they should be meeting up with Tsutsumi and what's-his-face, area. But that'll be after they have done this thing. So it feels like, or if we haven't done this part yet, they'll get there and it'll be like a dead end anyway for now, because we'll need to do with them whatever we're doing down here. So I'm pretty sure this is the next thing we need to do. Dead or alive. Haraway yeah, okay. Haraway and Richter visit Michio's home, having determined her to be a key player in the unresolved kidnapping case from a year before. As the completed story begins to unravel, they encounter two men. Yeah. Ooh, two strange men. Who are they? Okay, but I'm still not really getting, like, yeah, a lot of the, like, things are coming into play here with Michio's death, right? Now, so we're really getting the Michio story now. We're really figuring it out a little bit better. But what does it have to do with the whole rite of resurrection thing, right? Like, who kicked it off and why all this is happening? I was really getting into that. Is that still the soap company situation? Hihaku soaps? Is it just the CEO lady of Hihaku soaps? Is she the one who is behind the rite and, like, kicking it all off? Is that the situation? Like, that would make sense, I guess. But how does that, I mean, because that's like, people are, like, they're really leading us to suspect that, and we don't really have many other ties right now. for what could be causing it. Like, if they weren't just like giving us like, oh, who knows who started it, but it probably has something to do with that lady at Hihaku Soaps. Like the woman's voice who gave Ari Ishii the Record of Fates. And even Tsutsumi, or not Tsutsumi, sorry, Richter, we were with Richter and Haraway when he went. And Richter went in and talked to the dude at Hihaku Soaps, and he suggested as well that it was the CEO lady who kicked it off. So they're really leading us to think that. Otherwise, if they hadn't given us those pretty much a couple pieces of information there, we would suspect that it has something to do with Michio's death, because, well, her death, her death was a red herring, because it looked like all death by someone falling, and that's Yako's one anyway, right? So, like, it really was all tied together. But that's just a red herring, I guess. So that's fine. Red herrings exist. Although this is an oddly specific one, but okay. And kind of cheap to be like, oh yeah, everyone's like, she fell, she fell, she fell. But, oh, and there was nowhere to fall from even. It's so suspicious. But then they're like, oh, well, actually, she was run over. She was hit by a car. Really? You can't just turn out and say that. Like, how are we supposed to know that? That's weird. So I don't really like that red herring. It feels very cheap. But as for the rest of it, like, well, because before it felt like, oh, well, her death occurred before the Feast of Shadows kicked off everything. So it felt like it had to be related, to be like, you know, special somehow, have to do, maybe you needed a couple killings before you kick it all off. But that's not the case, because her death is unrelated. Just coincidence. So, but it's like she's so important to this story. Like, all these threads are tying back up, connecting, because like it connects, because Tsutsumi, his officer buddy, was talking to Michio, and of course Michio is Yako's friend, and then the Haraway, didn't Michio have something to do with witnessing the kidnapping of her son? So like they're all kind of connected around Michio. And now that girl with Shogo, I'm still kind of curious. I suspect she might be Simon's descendant. Actually. I feel like we're gonna loop her back in, like, towards the very end. Watch her show up in this next scene. Or something, but, yeah. And there's also Tsutsumy's daughter. I don't know who she is. We have that girl, but then we also have the girl who likes the ukiyo-e, what was that was called? The art stuff. Utaro's friend. They're both like right age to be Tsutsumy's kids. Well, not both, but like one of them's his daughter, probably. I feel like we know his daughter already, and there aren't that many options. So she might loop back in, like, through that at the end. Shogo's friend. Forget her name. But yeah, but Michio's tying everything together. But the, like, Hihaku Soaps has, like, nothing to do with anything. It's, like, off there in the distance. We keep talking about it on a couple different routes. Tsutsumi, I don't think... Did he talk to that guy? Of course, Shogo did before as well, so maybe that's kind of how that's kind of looping it back together. Because again, the Shogo route is clearly, I think, special. Or that girl if she's still around. But maybe, I don't know. Let's continue. And we'll see what's up here. Jazzy music. Aren't we in the middle of the street? Why is the music so jazzy? Oh, it's just Richter's influence, probably. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's Junario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. Good one, Ario. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Satsumi. And yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Ms. Harue Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A bigwig named Shigima? But boss, you know of this guy? Shit, I've heard the name. But you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops around here. We'll round up all the criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on one second. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Okay, first we gotta think. With our head. So these detectives are out here because of the recent string of strange deaths. It's best we keep quiet about our involvement with the curses. I don't know about that. What are surroundings? I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. And then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. Is there a bird around here? Bird. I don't see any birds. They can be sneaky. Okay, let's just look at everyone now. Okay. Yeah, there's just surroundings. Road. Okay. Look at Satsumi. He seems like he's got a lot of experience working the streets. Most of the officers I know are the bureaucratic desk jockey types. The contrast is rather striking. A young and energetic detective. He seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him. The guy I've been hanging out with for the past day. Like, what? Like, we have all these new observations about these new guys we ran into, and then all of a sudden we're like, let me look at you again, too. I'm totally not awkward, it's fine. It seems they were acquainted, but also like they haven't talked in a long time. Why did we zoom in all of a sudden? On you, buddy? Okay, let's talk to the person with sense. By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you. And that is? Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Honjo? Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly. With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? Dot.
Can't say I know much.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. I assume they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary. I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. Are you asking about curses? You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo. It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. His face, oh my gosh. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get this situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into all this. But if we're talking shady characters, there was this middle-aged fellow I saw in South Bargasui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Arishi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive. You two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely. I'll let you know if I find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend us a hand on our case too. There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order which they come in. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of brat folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Okay, we've already talked to him. Yeah, okay, alright, we're done looking at everyone. Let's talk to Ario. What brings you here, Richter? You want a case? That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year? I remember now. You're that Haruo Shigima. From the kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Munisada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am. Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret, and unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. Huh? By the way, that reminds me, Richter. Yes? You said the person who used to live around here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi by chance. You knew? I thought so. It seems like we're here for the same reason. Seriously, Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh right, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right. He died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure. To tell you the truth. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Janucci? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet, but the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then... Did you figure something out? Kakinchichiro Owai. Huh? Kakinchichiro Owai. He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi's house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's got into you? Boss. I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. He is kicking it in. I'm gonna take a drink while Richter's banging, knocking the door down. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick, look at this. It's a dead person. Whoa. What's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here. Whoa. Could that be Michio's dad? Nah. He's her stepdad at best of that. It's gotta be the body of Kankachiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Aria, did you find Janucci's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohai Janucci had died. A number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that. And if she's alive, then... That's... How did... Michio get there? And Yako has that curse, not Michio. And Yako... I was controlling Yako. We didn't go there. My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? I was wondering that. I was like, is Yako actually Michio? But like, that doesn't make any sense. Because like, Yako has her own house. You know, people know her, so... But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? No? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Misho Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? 8 o'clock? At Yako's house, right? No? I see. Very well. Congratulations, you're correct. Oh, thank God. Don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, she's gonna turn around and be like, you're correct. If you wanted to be wrong. Oh, come on. Please yell me. As expected, you got it in one go. Well, the cause of death was such, was it not? You must have noticed some time ago. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? Have taken up enough of your time. Yeah, because I was like, I know Yako's at Curse, but everyone's saying it's Michio doing the killing, so... And I mean, Michio, is she just possessing Yako? Is that what's happening? But how did we... get to her house? Like, we didn't go there. He didn't even actually explain anything. Mr. Storyteller just came in to be like, you know what's going on, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I absolutely do. And he was like, alright, good, just checking, bye. And it's like, we don't know what's going on. I don't understand. Because normally when you, like, possess someone, not that, like, I am frequently possessing people or being possessed by people, but, typically, one imagines when one is possessed, one still looks like they normally do. You don't look like the ghost, like, you physically do not change your body. But everyone's seeing Michio. So... I was really kind of confused. Unless Yako is actually Michio. It has been the whole time. And she just like... But then like, why is everyone saying she's dead? Like, if she like just got amnesia and turned into Yako, like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, fine. We'll continue and figure it out. What? So you really think Michio Shirishi's alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Aria, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. What even is all this? I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. That's what I was thinking. There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted on the wall over there. I was wondering if it was supposed to be the same person. It kind of looks like Najima. Almost. Huh? Whoa now. Hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumichika Najima. Gross. That's what I thought. Okay. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Najima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. Okay, first I'm gonna think with my brain. This place is disgusting. Did Michio Shiraishi really live here? Okay. Let's look at the sliding door. This sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. Look at the floor. It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic ruins. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my. Who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. Western black magic. Alright, let's read. Gotta take a drink first, though. I gotta stay extra hydrated during this part because their voices are challenging. While magic is often classed as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, the line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what is known today as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered wicked and shunned accordingly: black magic, the practice of using magical knowledge to strike a bargain with demons. In contrast to the socially acceptable subjects studied by the intelligentsia, black magic was most prolific among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of the day, war, famine, and sickness, which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As heresy, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes of teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. I don't know how much of that is actually true, but for the sake of this game, we will roll with it. Okay, we're not done looking at the floor, I see. It looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say. Could have been one of the Shiraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. Oh, old books, there we go. Well, I'm not done looking at the other things, like the decorations. Gotta look at the decor. Probably got it from Spirit Halloween or something. There are candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensic toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. Okay. Look at the corpse. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankichiro Iwai. You've seen him before? I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look too closely. It's amazing. That's probably not the thing you should have said. Cruel is what it is. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, oh no. Let's look at the drawers. This drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? Huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right. Area wasn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. Let's look at the window. With the window and storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. Okay. We'll look at that in a second. Gotta make sure. Is there a bird in here? Is there a bird sticker? I sure hope not. Because, like, how would the street artist even get in here to put a bird sticker? Okay, good. Good. Jima's pictures, newspaper cutouts, and old books. I think that's all we have to look at. More old books. Those are probably different old books, so. Okay, let's look at Najima pictures. It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumachika Najima? Wow, this is quite the spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter, you're quite the spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? These aren't just cut from publications. They even snapped a number of shots of their own. What is his accent? I don't even know. I'm so sorry.
They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures?
Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. Newspaper cutouts. Look at these. Pictures of Fumachika Najima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Najima's case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Najima might be involved in all this too. Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today he'll be going on a killing spree.
Oh dear.
There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Najima murders either. You don't say.
That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found the hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light.
You don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed.
Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea.
So you two have met before. Fancy that. Honjo's a small place. Sumida City, or whatever the bigger aspect of this region is a small place. I've been worried that Fumachika Najima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type.
Oh dear.
That asshole. I wonder who put the idea in his head. And now he's got the one-sided greed, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly he can't afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumachika Najima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Najima's location. Let's hope so. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Najima. They might have had some relation to Najima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite.
The opposite?
What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration?
But then...
Look at the old books. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. Huh. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. Do you think this Iwai guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. Iwai doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
But why would he be studying black magic?
According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous.
Resurrection? Like the rite?
I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. What is it? This looks like a journal. It's probably a wise. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh, wow. Now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Conkichiro Iwai fellow, he's been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start. He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Najima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not coincidence. It seems like Iwai took an interest in the Najima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Najima of all people. This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Iwai had been collecting these photos ever since that time, and since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Najima, he made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even hearing it all laid out like this. The thought of Najima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years, we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Najima murders. Yup, it's been a mystery to us all from the very start. Whoa now, wait just one minute. Do you think? No way, are you saying? That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Najima. You've got to be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Najima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Iwai had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but it doesn't refute that Najima and Iwai were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection. Shit, resurrection. That means there must have been someone Najima wanted to bring back to life. Damn, that's it. That has to be it. Fucking hell, it all makes sense now. What? What is it? So, about the Najima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby. A baby? Oh, the pretty music. Oh, Najima, the horrible murderer, has a story. It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. Is Najima descended from Simon? And is the girl Shogo's friend? We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. What if it's Michio? No, 20 years ago. Shogo's friend. Shogo's friend. So was Najima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. Wait. No, so he's not the father. What is going on? This is really pretty music, though. I really like this music. It's very pretty. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens? I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedent. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Najima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing.
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant.
Goodness. That's horrific.
He killed her and dismembered her body. And we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. This got really weird. Kind of gruesome. Don't misunderstand me. This is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But I, for one, never believed that man would just take a baby he found under a bridge.
I'm feeling sick.
Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Okay, but so he was killing all these people to resurrect someone. And then Tsutsumi's like, oh, it all makes sense now. There was someone he wanted to resurrect. The baby. And it's like, what does the baby have to do with anything? I was like, okay, so he had a baby, which means he probably had a woman he loved. Maybe she died and he wanted to resurrect her. But then they're like, oh, the baby, he just found it. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. But the baby was alive when they arrested him. So it's not like he wanted to resurrect the baby with the ritual. So even though the baby, so the baby's out of the picture, not the resurrection subject, not the baby's mother. And the baby is completely unrelated to the ritual. Unless, kind of thinking Harry Potter style now. What if the baby's dad was who Najima wanted to resurrect? Because Najima had a crush on the baby's dad. I don't know what it has to do with Harry Potter. Somehow it feels like Snape and Harry relationship. So Najima liked the father. And so that's why he killed the mother. Because he was jealous and upset, and he took the baby, and he couldn't kill the baby. This is like the Harry Potter connection, because the baby was his love's daughter. In this case, his daughter. He loved the baby's father, so he couldn't kill the baby. Or not that he wanted to kill babies anyway, but that's, and he wanted to resurrect the father. Perhaps. Anyway, let's see what Tsusumi's got to say. Because otherwise, I don't see how the baby has anything to do with whoever he was trying to resurrect. Because, he killed the woman for the purpose of resurrecting this other person. So I don't really understand. Like I said, we don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child. Oh, okay, yeah, so we are thinking, okay. We're not believing the bridge story, and we are assuming that it was his child. That's even more confusing. I liked it when he was in love with the baby's father. I don't understand. He killed the mother. So why would he want to resurrect her? He killed her in order to resurrect someone else. So it might have been his child. What does this have to do with who he was resurrecting? And that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. Oh, so the baby's not from the pregnant woman. Got it. It's that whole bit where the pregnant woman bit where we're kind of being like, oh, you were putting those pieces together. I was like, you could have done a DNA test, but it was the 60s. So I get that DNA tests were probably difficult. Makes sense. Okay. I'm starting to see now. And you just assumed that the baby came from the pregnant woman. And they dismembered the body, but presumably they didn't find the baby when they looked through the body. But maybe the baby just got lost. So the other baby, it's again a coincidence, just like the car accident falling situation just a coincidence? Did she look like she fell? We were like, oh no, Michio fell, but where did she fall from? It's impossible to die by falling if you don't have somewhere to fall from. And then we find out you can, and we're like, oh, that must be it. But then it wasn't. It was a car accident. Same thing here. You're like, baby. Pregnant woman with no baby. The baby must have come from the pregnant woman because we didn't find the baby, but the baby's an unrelated baby. But it's not unrelated because Majima's baby. Okay, we're putting it all together now. I mean, but mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Najima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good as any guess. They don't have to be married, Richter. They don't have to be married. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the Rat of Resurrection. Damn, you're right. And here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector. Yeah. What happened to the child? Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. Yep. We're not done looking at our old books. Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in Iwai's journal. I'm going to take a drink for a second. Okay. We know Iwai had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol Najima while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right. He thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Right, correct. Turns out someone gave him probably that him shouldn't be there. Someone gave him the idea. And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori. Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps? So that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. That sounds exactly like the lady in the foot washing mansion. But she died because she's the curse echo, so who the hell is this? Magic, rituals, and rats. She'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth and the like. So she would even throw her money at the occult. The place's greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to... Wait. It did say the descendants. So maybe she's the descendant of the foot washing mansion. But it's kind of weird that she didn't get that curse echo though. But Simon did say the descendants would end up with the echoes. So maybe they just got all mishmashed around and different people have different ones, you know? Huh. Interesting. Because, like, they have to do with the place, right? Not, like, the people. And the Foot Washing Mansion location was at Komagata High School. So that's just, you know, so it just so happens to be, like, whoever happened to be, like, obviously, you know, what's her face here, Natsue, wasn't at the high school. Duh, she's super old. And Yako was, so, like, that makes sense. But, and so, yeah, I mean, because it'd be, like, way too much for, like, the descendants to be at the right locations. Like, the correct descendant at the correct location. So all the descendants got the curse echoes. But, like, you know, whatever location they were at, kind of. Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into the Rite of Resurrection as well. That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the Rite of Resurrection. I was like, oh, it's weird they told us that after we, the audience, the player, already found that out. But we could have done this episode before the other one, so then we wouldn't have known, because we wouldn't have had the conversation Yaku and Mio had with Arishi. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced the rumors of the Red Resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover if she becomes young again. No, she's an Onmyoji. She's a modern Onmyoji. Godly powers? What's that all about? Ah, you can ignore that. Either way, I think Iwai took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiriishi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me? We'll pretend like we know what's going on. Are you saying that... No, you can't mean... You've realized then? Perhaps. Wait, hold on. Uh, wait, what did I realize? Um, what does that have to do with her? Um, hold on. I'm like, my brain is like, okay, so the Shiriishis took Iwai in, and that's what has to do with her. Her whole plot is her son. How long ago was it that her son was kidnapped? A year ago? It's only been a year? It felt like it was a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this has like kidnapped and murdered. The death was a result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned. Arranged to kidnap her and had him cut off all contact with police. Right, okay. So it was covered up. This killer remains at large. So Najima could have kidnapped and killed him. But I'm leaning more towards EY. Because it's not going to be Najima. Like, because the kidnapper got frustrated with police. And Najima already has, like, a history of, like, dealing with the police, right? Like, that's not his MO. Like, to kidnap and... No, wait. Hold on. Right. So he didn't intend to murder him. Or at least that's the way they assume. Kidnapper got angry and cut off contact with so they couldn't negotiate. He was going to hold him hostage for ransom. And she's saw. I don't know. What am I supposed to know? Let's go with this. I'm heart of the cards. We're going with EY. EY's. Oh no, we got it. Okay, wait. Child magic's that living sacrifice. Uh, EY's. Why and Najima are the ones with magic? Living sacrifice. Um, um, why? What does she have to do with? I don't know what Natsui would have to do. She wants it right, but she's just trying to get everyone to use it. I don't know what that has to do with because like she wouldn't want money. She's already really rich. Um, I don't think Toshiko has anything to do with it. Was living sacrifice was a child. Was magic. Was the his living sacrifice was the sacrifice. Was a child? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it was her son. I don't know. Just the face she's making is very personal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Kankachiro, wise living sacrifice, was a child. Maybe? That's exactly it. Were there other right options? Like, because there's no way I got that right, like, out of all the different options. Iwa moved in with the Shirishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young. Oh no, of course. That awful man. So it was a why. This man Iwa worshipped Najima, so he must have also despised Najima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Najima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time? Oh, so did he pretend to kill the kid because it's the police's fault? Is that like he made it feel like he set them up basically? Like he was lying. He was planning to kill the kid the whole time, but he decided to become enraged with the police and like act like he was mad at them. He was mad at them the whole time, of course, but he like acted like they did something to make him mad so that he could like frame them, kind of, essentially, pinning on them. Fuck. You got it. Iwai kidnapped Haruhi Shigema's son and managed to score the 3 birds with 1 stone. The birds? I've been getting the bird stickers. She looks like a curse echo. Okay, I'm not going to do a little scream. You're telling me that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses and then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man, he took Shuichi. Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea from a stupid little man. Okay, ma'am. Let's take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air? I can't believe this. This is... Chief, I think it's best if we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal. Oh. Iwai got in contact with Najima last year, after Najima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Najima to stay in? Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shirishis, it seems most went to Najima instead. If Najima's lurking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it is? Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seemed Michio knew where it was. She never met with Najima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up, among other things. Man, Michio was in all sorts of messy stuff. Jeez. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. No, wait. She's alive. That's right. Michio Shiraishi is alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout, too. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. The lady's not well. Wait. Did the officer, his friend who knew Michio? Because I'm like, where did the body go? Like everyone obviously knew there was a body. Did did because he died after Michio, right? So he knew. So he could have known. He could have like set up Michio's death, right? Well, not set up, but like, well, Yutaro thinks he killed her, though. No, I think she's possessing Yako. That's like just a. I was like, I keep like my brain really wants it to be that Yako is actually Michio, and like they're not two separate people. Like Yako is like her new identity. Um, she like went into like witness protection. But it doesn't fit with the other things. She's I think, but she's. They keep saying she's alive, but I don't think she is. Mm, I don't know. Unless Yako is Michio. But if that's the case, then Yako is Michio. And like, oh, maybe she has the amnesia. But then why does everyone else know Yako though? Maybe Yako died. Huh. I don't know. Kankichiro Iwai. The common law husband of Michio Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankachiro started coming and going from the Shiriichi household a little over a year ago. It seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. His deceased body was discovered at the Shiriichi home. Kankachiro once made a living by placing advertisements in magazines to sell phony magic items and good luck charms. He held a nostalgic yearning for the post-war era when things and people were simple and has nothing but negative things to say about the rapidly developing ostentatious world of late. Radical in his belief that it would be better to tear down society and start over again, Kankachiro was discontent with his life spent poking around in society's cesspools to make a few coins. When the Najima murders were widely reported in the media, it had a great impact on Kankachiro, as he witnessed how a single act by a single man could cause a major rift in society. Perceiving Fumichika Najima as a great hero, he began collecting every piece of information he could find on the man. Kankachiro was later arrested for his illegal business practices, and a chance meeting with Fumichika during his incarceration solidified his idolization. He was captivated by Fumichika's talk of black magic, and following his release, acquired the grimoire Fumichika had hidden away. As for Toshika Shiraishi, Kankachiro set his sights on her after encountering her at her part-time job. When he learned that the Shiraishi family was in financial trouble and could not afford to send Michio to college, he turned on the charm and took advantage of their weakness by offering them money. He revealed his true colors, however, after moving in with the family and used violence and money to keep Toshiko and Michio under his thumb. All the while, his belief in black magic deepened, and he found a sponsor in the Hihaku Corporation. Kankachiro forced the Shiriichi family to perform various rituals, with any attempts to resist being met with merciless beatings. The mother and daughter were helpless to resist. After Hihaku offered Kankachiro great sums to intensify his work with black magic, he set his mind to sacrificing a child in order to perform a youth restoration spell. For this purpose, he chose Shuriichi Shigima, the son of Haruo Shigima, against whom Fumichika held a grudge. He attempted to enlist Michio so as not to alarm the boy, and when he resisted, beat her mother 20 times. When Michio Okay. With Michio's assistance, Kankachiro kidnapped Shuichi and locked him up in the Shiriichi house and told the young and courageous boy that he'd kill Michio if he tried to run. While his actions were motivated by a personal grudge against the police, it was first and foremost an attempt to create a societal uproar and breakdown in public order. So Kankachiro painted the crime as a regular kidnapping, demanding a ransom from the family. Wait, okay, yeah. Personal grudge. But that was not his main goal. So he wanted to cause distrust in the police. Ransom from the family. However, because of an embargo on the press, the kidnapping did not cause a public outcry akin to that of the Najima murders. Infuriated, Kankachiro had Toshiko perform the sacrifice ritual by threatening to kill Michio if she refused. Toshiko killed Shuichi in his sleep, but the spell failed, for which Kankachiro blamed her. Warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother, Kankachiro dumped the boy's body in a nearby river. A tiny corpse was found a week later in the Sumida River after floating through several canals in Honjo. Having drifted for days in the polluted waters, little evidence remained. Although Kankachiro performed no further sacrifices, his devotion to black magic only increased. Toshiko and Michio spent their days consumed by guilt, forced to continue serving Kankachiro until the day they died. Wait. So is Toshiko dead? She's not on our list. Because I didn't really shoot that made it seem like past tense, like they died. They were serving him until their death. But maybe it's like the state they were like they thought they were in at the time, right? Like kind of okay. Ah, back to the bridge. Everybody's favorite bridge. Are you feeling better now that we've got some fresh air by this river with a bunch of corpses in it? Probably still, ma'am. I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio. Because she kidnapped the kidnapper? There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Hey, Richter? Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Najima's planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. So, I'm counting on you. Ooh, we have a bunch. We can go back here and choose to go straight to the school, which is probably what we'll do next time, because I've been at this for a couple hours now, and I know my voice isn't... These gentlemen here they're tough to voice. Wow, we have all sorts of angles. We can continue this story. Well, which will bleed into this one, presumably. Is that the high school? I don't know. That doesn't really actually look like the high school. I was like, maybe it's the top of it, but it doesn't quite look like that. I don't know where they are in this picture. I mean, obviously, that's kind of the goal, right? Is I don't think you're supposed to know what this is. Or else they would have get a better shot of it. But yeah, so we'll probably pick up with these guys since we haven't seen them. I don't know, or also because they're the easiest on my voice. So I kind of, I do have a favorite storyline, and it is the girls because their voices are easier. So, and then Richter. Honestly, my favorite character out of all these people, out of Richter and Haruwe, and Tsutsumi and Ario, and Yaku and Mio, my favorite character is Tsutsumi. He's my favorite. So I do really like that story, and I like their dialogue. It feels good, but his voice is the worst. So and I hate doing Richter's accent because I forgot what accent, because I didn't give him that like southern accent. And instead I gave him a different accent, but then I didn't remember what it was, so I had to go back to the southern one. And I'm really bad at that. Increasingly bad at it. So I don't know. So, not a big fan of doing his voice. And Tsumi's voice is awful, and Ario's is also kind of bad. Nyako and Mio are good, but I don't know. They're just not my favorite. They're my second favorite storyline. This is my first favorite. They're my second favorite, but their voice is best. And then this one's like my least favorite. But we learned a lot of information tonight. This was crazy. So much. We piecing together everything. Lots really. It's all coming together. I feel like the meme, you know, the conspiracy board meme. I feel like that right now. All the pieces in my brain. So hopefully I don't forget about it all. I don't know when I'll stream this again. Maybe next Tuesday. I'll probably stream Sir Brant on Sunday. And then maybe this on Tuesday, but I'm like reluctant to do 2 streams in a row that are a lot of talking. And reading and voices and stuff. So maybe next Thursday. Either next Tuesday or next Thursday. But like I'm really into it now. This is a really good one. This is the best there was another night somewhere back way back here somewhere. I think these guys was a good one. A good stream. I felt really good about that and I enjoyed it. But this was the best night of this game so far for me. A lot of thinking involved, and I enjoy that. I enjoy a challenge and a puzzle and stuff. So, and like putting pieces together and things. I love like all the clues. I love arranging clues and things. So, so it's really fun. So thanks for like watching and sticking around, for chatting, everyone, and kind of humoring me on this. Because I quite enjoy it. We'll see where this one. I'm having fun. Yes. Okay. Yeah, okay, the game's picking up. I'm really enjoying it, so this is good time for me at least. At least today. Okay, so that's it for today's stream. My voice can't take much more, so because it's about like an hour or so, a little over an hour perhaps, for like one little section, like one little TV of story, and I feel like I don't want to put another hour into this. I don't think my voice can take another hour. So yeah, but next time I play it, I'm really looking forward to it. I just can't jump right into it immediately because I want to save my voice. Maybe I'll stream this Sunday instead of Sir Brand because I'm like really into this and I want to like ride the momentum, you know? So maybe actually I might do that. The Sir Brand thing is okay, but I'm definitely feeling way more into this. So I think Sunday I'll stream this. And Sir Brant, we'll get around to him when we get around to Sir Brant. Alright, well, I had fun night stream. Hopefully everyone else watching had fun as well, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, have a good night. Have a good couple days. I'll be back Saturday. I'm going to stream Phasmophobia on Saturday. I know everyone's been asking me to stream Demonologist instead and play that. I like that Phasmophobia is like a modern take, right? It's like going into modern houses and hunting ghosts. Demonologist, because it's like so like the setting is so different. It's not like mundane, and I actually like the mundane part about Phasmophobia. That's like something I like about it. So Demonologist just feels just too much, you know? But I did buy it here a couple days ago, last week or whenever, during the Steam sale. When the Steam sale started, I did buy Demonologist, so I do have it. I will try to play it some point in the future. But I want to get back to Phasmo on Saturday, I think. Play something I know and something I'm still not very good at. um but yeah, so that'll be on Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll be back to this. All right, so while the music's done, I'm going to end it here. Goodbye. Hopefully have a good couple days. See you Saturday.